How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I am going to be counting down my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2024. Looks like next year is going to be a pretty good year for films. A lot of movies I'm looking forward to, but I'm just going to narrow it down to a top 10, of course, like I normally do towards the end of the year. So, starting off at number 10, I have Mickey 17, and I don't know much about this film. There was only a small teaser trailer released for it, but I do know it is Bong Joon-ho's next movie, and of course, Bong Joon-ho's a great director. Parasite was his last film, which came out in 2019, and that obviously won Best Picture, got a lot of buzz. Fantastic movie. And this film looks like it's just going to be really interesting. It's actually a science fiction film, so I like sci-fi. Sci-fi is always an interesting genre. And the little synopsis here says a disposable employee is sent on a human expedition to colonize the ice world of Nilfheim. I butchered that. After one iteration dies, I guess this movie's about cloning. A new body is regenerated with most of its memories intact. It kind of reminds me of like Altered Carbon or something. I don't know, man. All I know is that it's Bong Joon-ho's new film, and Robert Pattinson is also in it. Forgot to mention that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But moving on to number 9, I have Gladiator 2. Now, I'm a pretty big Ridley Scott fan. Of course, he'll be directing this, and he directed the original Gladiator. And I did enjoy the original Gladiator from 2000. I actually just saw it for the first time a few years ago, so I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to Gladiator. I know a lot of people love that film, but I'm most excited about this film for the cast. I mean, we got Denzel Washington, Paul Mescal, Joseph Quinn, Fred Heshinger, Pedro Pascal. Just a lot of really cool people are going to be in it. And the fact that it's actually a continuation of the first film. And of course, Ridley Scott is returning to direct. I'm hyped. And I think this will just be a very epic film. I haven't seen Napoleon, which is Ridley Scott's newest film. I haven't seen that yet, but I plan to. And I don't know. I definitely am going to have to rewatch Gladiator before seeing this one. But it's just, I'm pretty interested. I'm pretty interested to see what the storyline's going to be. I think it's focusing on Paul Mescal's character. I think he's like the main character in this. So it'll be interesting to see where things go in this movie. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Moving on to number 8, I have Spaceman. This is a new Adam Sandler movie, which I think is going to be another dramatic Adam Sandler film. I don't think it's going to be a comedy. It says it's an adventure slash thriller. And all I know about this one is that I think it's based off a true story. Jacob Prochatska, that's the main character's name. He was raised by his grandparents in the Czech countryside after being abandoned as a young boy, and he works as a scientist before trying to become the Czech Republic's first astronaut. So that's pretty cool. That's a little synopsis there, just on Wikipedia or whatever. So, you know, that's pretty interesting to me, and I think it'll be fun seeing Adam Sandler, again, in a more serious role. I don't think this is going to be like a super serious role, but I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see how this, once we get an actual trailer, we'll have a better understanding of what this film is going to be. But this film's definitely on my radar, and I wanted to put it on the list because, I mean, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. It also looks like Paul Dano and Carey Mulligan are going to be in it, so really solid cast as well. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, moving on to number 7, I have Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff with Ana de Armas. And, I mean, you guys know I'm a huge John Wick fan already. And this is, I think, a film that takes place between the events of Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. So it'll be really exciting. And, of course, Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon himself. I think Norman Reedus is actually going to be in this film. So that's going to be really exciting, actually. And, you know, I like Ana de Armas, so I think she'll be great as the lead in the movie. And I'm just hoping to have a lot of fun action sequences in it, just like the John Wick films do. And, yeah, I mean, not much to say about this one. Again, we don't have an official trailer for this one either, but it is still slated for 2024. It actually says June 7th, 2024. So, you know, halfway through the year, we'll be able to get this one, hopefully, and it won't get pushed back or anything. But, yeah, looking forward to it. I think it'll be a blast. Anyway, moving on to number 6, I have the new Karate Kid movie that is apparently slated for next year. It just is titled Untitled Karate Kid movie. But the reason I mention this is it was really cool because Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, they came out on a video on YouTube and said they're looking for the next Karate Kid to star in the new Karate Kid movie. And it seems like this is going to be a crossover film, kind of. And now I haven't seen Cobra Kai. I'm ashamed to admit that. I will probably watch Cobra Kai before seeing this film, but I'm a huge fan of the 1984 original Karate Kid, and I also remember seeing the Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan Karate Kid from, I think, 2010. I remember watching that as a kid. So I'm a fan of the Karate Kid franchise, even though I haven't seen Cobra Kai, but I think this will be a bit of a crossover movie, and that's why I put this on the list, because I think, Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are going to be reprising their roles, and they're going to kind of cross over and merge these two storylines, from obviously Karate Kid 2010 and then like the original, 1984 Karate Kid. And it'll be a bit of a crossover. I mean, I don't know if Jaden Smith is going to be in it, but, I liked Jackie Chan's character in the 2010 Karate Kid. So, it'll be fun to see these two interact. And that's what I'm looking forward to for this movie. And it seems like it's going to focus on a new Karate Kid, obviously because they're looking for a new person to star as the Karate Kid. So, it'll be interesting to see who they cast, but I'm looking forward to it for sure. Anyways, moving on to number 5, I have Kung Fu Panda 4. Yes, yes, yes. They just released the trailer for this film just a few days ago at the time of me making this video, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm excited for it. Of course, I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy, I guess you could say, but more so the original film from 2008. Like, the first Kung Fu Panda is the best, in my opinion. I know some people have said Kung Fu Panda 2 is actually better. I disagree. It's still good, but the original Kung Fu Panda has always been my favorite, and I loved that movie growing up. And I'm just excited to see that we're actually getting a fourth Kung Fu Panda film. And the plot actually seems kind of interesting, where there's this new villain, the Chameleon, who I don't know if he can shapeshift like the Marvel villain, the Spider-Man villain, Chameleon, but it seems like the past villains from the previous 3 movies are going to be in this one. Like, we saw Tai Lung return in the trailer. Bro, I love Tai Lung. He's the GOAT. I'm so excited to see Tai Lung back, and I think this will be epic. I think it will look great, and the animation looks pretty solid. And I feel like DreamWorks has just been, upping their ante with the animation recently. And, particularly with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I mean, that was just beautifully animated. And I think Kung Fu Panda will be really great. Kung Fu Panda 4, that is. And, of course, nostalgia comes into play a little bit. I love the original films. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this one. But I'm hyped. Jack Black's coming back. So it's just awesome to see a continuation of this. But moving on to number 4, I have Deadpool 3. This movie's going to be nuts. I mean, it's just going to be nuts. I mean, I really got to kind of have to control my hype for this film because I don't want to be disappointed by it. But, like, this movie could be absolutely amazing. It seems like it's going to be so damn fun. Sean Levy's directing, and some people were actually concerned Sean Levy's directing and the fact that this might be PG-13. I don't know if they confirmed that or not, but it probably will be because it's technically an MCU film. But I think it'll be really great either way because Sean Levy's actually the director of Night at the Museum, and I love those movies. And he's a director of a bunch of other great films, actually. So I think Sean Levy directing a Deadpool movie, I think Deadpool's in good hands, actually. And Hugh Jackman, of course, is reprising his role as Wolverine, and we're getting him in the yellow suit. Everyone's wanted it for years now. This is going to be epic. It's going to be an epic movie. It's going to be so funny. It's going to be so just outlandish. Oh my gosh. I mean, they can make so many jokes in this movie, so many meta breaking and fourth wall breaking jokes that I think it'll be so hilarious. I mean, it's going to be awesome, bro. Seeing Deadpool and Wolverine team up, it's just going to be awesome. And I'm so hyped for this movie. But moving on to number 3, I have Inside Out 2, a movie that, if you asked me a few years ago, I thought we would never really get. But it seems like Pixar and Disney as a whole is starting to become more open to making sequels again, which, if you do remember, there was, particularly with Pixar, there was an era where Pixar was like kind of against making sequels after they had already made so many. But I'm kind of ready for sequels again. I mean, I know some people aren't, but I kind of want sequels. I hate to say it. I know that's kind of a cringe thing to say because you always want original content, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of hyped for some more sequels. And, Inside Out 2, I love the first one. Came out in 2015, so it's, nearly a decade ago at this point, but I think this will be really awesome. I think Riley is obviously getting older in this movie, and there's new emotions, like anxiety is the main one that we'll be seeing in this movie. And the trailer looked really fun, and I think this one's just going to be a really emotional, no pun intended, because it's all about emotions. But it's going to be a very emotional movie, and I'm ready for this. I think it'll be great. I really hope this can be one of the more legendary Pixar films, because Pixar in recent years hasn't been that great, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, man. There's been a few okay movies, but the past like 3 or 4 years for Pixar hasn't been amazing. Like, I needed an amazing Pixar movie. I really want that. So, but yeah, that's at number 3. And then moving on to number 2, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So I really love the original, not the original trilogy, but the kind of reboot trilogy that started in 2011 with James Franco, obviously. And then they did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. And those movies are really well done. I love those films. And I saw the trailer for this, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it looks sick. I mean, it's taking place, obviously, in the same universe, but it's taking place generations after the ending of War for the Planet of the Apes, and it's going to focus on all new apes and all new characters. But the world looks amazing. I mean, it's definitely super post-apocalyptic at this point, but nature is starting to take back everything, and there's so much overgrowth of the cities and stuff. And it's really a new kingdom for, well, the Planet of the Apes. And it's going to be awesome. I really have high hopes for this movie. I think it'll be really cool. So that I don't have much to say other than that, but I'm really looking forward to it, to see what goes down. But at number 1, kind of predictable. I don't know. I have Joker 2. Well, Joker, Folie à Deux. I don't know how to speak French. I think that's French. Listen, Joker 2, all right? I know. But I'm so excited for this. I do have a lot of questions, and I'm maybe a little nervous as well, but I don't care. I'm still so hyped for this movie. I mean, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and of course we have this being a musical, which I don't know how that's going to affect this movie. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but I think it could be fun in a weird way if it's done correctly. And you have Todd Phillips returning as the director, and obviously Joaquin Phoenix as Joker is just really damn good. So I'm a little nervous, but also like really excited to see what goes down in this movie. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting either way. But yeah, that's my number 1, and that's my top 10 list. There's a lot of other films coming out that I'm interested in seeing, but I thought I'd narrow it down to just those top 10. But of course, let me hear your top 10 most anticipated movies for next year. Curious to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.